Hey guys, so weekly reading vlog. As today's Monday, I'm going to try and read at least something every day because I do have quite a few things I want to get through this week, which are The Last Supper by Rosemary Schreiger. I want to finish The Colour of Magic by Terry Pratchett on my Kindle, and then I also have People We Meet on Vacation and 5 Survive that I'd also like to get done this week. So, a lot to get through. I don't know much about this other than it's a cozy murder mystery with a older female main character who's a retired TV chef. So I'm going to get into that. I don't know much about it, so I can't tell you much about it, so I will give you another update. All I can say is it is very short. It's only 275 pages, so it shouldn't take me that long to get through. And I'll update you in a little. Hey guys, so another update for you. I started The Last Supper by Rosemary Schreiger. I am currently 35% of the way in, and I'm actually really enjoying it. This is a cozy murder mystery set in the English countryside. So we are following Prudence Bulstrode, who is a celebrity chef who has retired for a life in the country. And it kicks off with her granddaughter crashing her camper van into some prized vegetables after a bit of a wild night out. However, shortly after, she gets the phone call saying another celebrity chef and her friend Deirdre Shaw has died while catering for an event at Farley Manor. So Prue accepts the offer to replace Deirdre as the chef and heads up there with her granddaughter. And from the minute she arrives, something just doesn't feel right about the place. But the first night that she cooks there, everyone comes down with about food poisoning or suspected food poisoning, but Prue and Suki aren't ill, and neither are any of the staff, just the wealthy guests. And Prue, being the kind of stubborn, hard-headed woman she is, learns from a police constable that Deirdre did actually have a heart attack, as people claimed. She did have a heart attack, but when she fell into the rhubarb patch that she was supposedly digging rhubarb out of, she was still alive and suffocated by breathing in the dirt. But then Prue she realises that none of Deirdre's dishes on the menu for this week-long weekend had rhubarb. And because she knows Deirdre was a very old-fashioned cook, not prone to experimenting with recipes, there wouldn't have been any reason for her to be digging up rhubarb. And this sets the wheels turning in Prue's head, and she is now completely sure that someone is trying to derail this weekend, and that they've probably already killed one person in Deirdre, and they've sent another to the hospital, and the rest is sick. So she's now on the case. So I have a funny feeling from here on out we've been introduced to all of our main characters. We've been introduced to the setting and the mystery itself. I think the rest of the book now is going to be Prue figuring out who the hell is trying to kill everyone and why they're blaming it on her. Well, not her specifically, but the role of the chef. Why they're aiming at the chef. This book isn't very long, it's only 275 pages in, and I'm already close to 100 pages in, so I should be able to finish this tonight or tomorrow, early tomorrow. But yeah, this is really good. I haven't read these books, but I've seen them labelled as cozy mysteries. So things like Thursday Murder Club and Killers of a Certain Age, then I think you'll really enjoy this. But I think it's going to step up on them because Prue is very obviously the self-embodiment of Rosemary Schrager, in personality and all that kind of stuff. But she's also quite humorous. So there were moments where you do find yourself laughing, and then you're like, oh, someone just died. Shouldn't be laughing. But yeah, so I'm enjoying this. And then tomorrow, once I finish that, I will be at some point making a start on People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, because Beach Read was just perfection, and I can't wait to read more. So just a quick check-in. I'm now halfway through The Last Supper, and after the food poisoning incident, all the food in the kitchen has had to be replaced. And while Prue and Suki are out getting all new food, someone apparently breaks in and ransacks the kitchen. When Prue and Suki come back, they immediately think something's off about the entire setup. And Prue's theory is that someone broke in to steal a specific item, and then had to cover it up. And she thinks this because Suki left the garden door unlocked, so there was no need to break the windows to get in or out, and they could have made it seem like they were never there. So Prue's theory is that someone poisoned Deirdre and killed her, attempted to do the same to either one or all of the guests, and had to cover their tracks, basically. Now, when the others learn of this, when Suki actually voices these thoughts, they think they're a bit mad. But I think there's something going on there, and I'm excited to see where it goes. But motive is eluding me, because as Prue says, Deirdre and herself do have enemies, but they're within their own specific circles, the cookery world and in London, not in the middle of nowhere in the English countryside. So it seems very strange. But yeah, I'm now like 130 pages in, and there's only 175, so I've got like an hour and a half left in the audiobook, so I'll definitely be able to through The Last Supper. There's only 100 pages left, and things are really stacking up. So we've had a murder, a serious bout of illness, and now Biscuit, the groundskeeper's dog, has also been poisoned and died. what's come to light is that poison may not only be a tangible thing in this story. It has been used to kill 2 people. Well, definitely it's killed Biscuit, and it's very heavily implied that that's what killed Deirdre. But there's a lot of emotional poison between these guests. Obviously, this specific group had been coming to the manor for years, very frequently up until about 8 years ago, and then they stopped coming as a group. But what we find out is that Deirdre met Rupert Pendergast that first time 20 years ago and sparked up a sort of fling with him. And that goes, from what I gather, it seemed to have gone on for a while, as she hosted several private parties for him, until his wife put an end to it. And then she was hired by his son Richard for a work event to impress some clients. It didn't go over well. He lost those clients and subsequently lost his job. But he is also the same person that hired Deirdre to come back for this shooting weekend. So at the minute, the majority of the suspicion seems to be on Richard Pendergast. But I also wouldn't put it past someone else in the group or someone else entirely, like a member of staff. So obviously there's only 100 pages left, so I'm excited to see what comes out and who this killer turns out to be. But I'm going to jump back into that. I updated you, but basically I finished the last sub by Rosemary Schrager. It was really good. It was kind of a combination of a cozy mystery with some like Agatha Christie detective work, and it was great. I didn't see the reveal at the end coming, and it was shocking. So I am trying to get my hands on the second book, Proof in the Pudding, as soon as I can to continue that. But 1 second, let me get it. Basically, my plan was to read People We Meet on Vacation and 5 Survive, but I forgot that my book club is starting our new book, and that is Malice by John Gwynne. Obviously that's really chunky, and high fantasy as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read 5 Survive by Holly Jackson, and then I'm going to start Malice, but I will break that up with People We Meet on Vacation, because the genres are really different. I have to say my copy of 5 Survive is stunning. Like, I really like this, and it's not like that fabricy hardcover. It's really smooth, so it's not going to get as dirty like hardcovers do. So all I know about this, it's a group of friends on a road trip. Yeah, on a road trip, and their car breaks down, and apparently someone wants one of them dead, and they are being essentially hunted. So interesting. I'm willing to walk into this almost completely blind, purely because I read the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series by Holly Jackson and really loved it, so I have high hopes for this one. It's not that long, it's just under about 400 pages, so I should be able to read this one fairly quickly. And then I'm going to have to get into Malice pretty soon. But this book is really well designed as well. Like, it's got the purple outside with the bullet hole, and then it's got like tire tracks on the inside, and then you've got like a layout and like a map. You know, it's really cool. I love the way Holly Jackson's books are laid out. They are gorgeous. And I'm assuming this takes place over a single night. Yeah, it's like, it starts at 10 p.m. and then there's these blackout pages that go to like 5, 6 a.m. So I'm assuming it's one night, 8 hours. So that's going to be fun. So I'm going to start this today, and I'll give you an update a bit later. Hey guys, good morning. It's now Friday morning, but this is my Thursday update because I didn't update you yesterday. So I spent most of yesterday being quite busy, but I did manage to finish The Colour of Magic by Terry Pratchett. It ended up being a 3-star for me. Like, even though I really enjoyed Eric, the first book in the series seemed all over the place. It was a real headache to wrap my head around everything that was going on. And there are some portions where it makes sense to do that, like where the gods are playing a game. And the rolls of the dice directly impact where the characters go and what they do. But later on, it seems like there's several different plot points that Pratchett wanted to include and didn't know where to put them, so he just kind of jammed them all together. Like being in the Old God's Temple, and the Dryads, that could have been the rest of the book by itself. What happened in the Dragonlands could have finished the whole book by themselves. Being kidnapped and sent over the edge of the world, that could have been a whole book by itself, if it had been expanded on and developed. But yeah, the first book really lacked coherency. Like, it's like you're a couple of pages here doing this, and then you're suddenly there doing this, and it gave me a bit of a headache to follow. But I still enjoyed the world and the characters, and obviously the way it ended with Two Flower and Rincewind going over the edge of the world in their ship. I do want to see what happens next, but I'm not going to like immediately jump into it because it was a bit of a headache. And I think that's the issue with any sort of classic sci-fi or classic fantasy. They can be a struggle to read. So yeah, that was yesterday. So my day today is going to be starting 5 Survive by Holly Jackson. This audiobook is only about 10 hours long, but I do listen to it on 2.5 speed. Plus, I'm very familiar with Holly Jackson's writing and I really enjoy it, so I should be able to finish this today. And this is just under 400 pages, so I should be able to get this done today. And then tomorrow, it's going to be People We Meet on Vacation. And I do also have an arc of Sorry Not Sorry by Emily James that I could get into. But once I've finished 5 Survive and People We Meet on Vacation, I will be rolling again for the tarot prompts. So there's that. So a couple of these books and these segments on like 5 Survive and People We Meet on Vacation are also going to be in the tarot, next round of tarot. But we'll just give it a go and see. And I'll update you later, guys. So, update. It's now Sunday. I did do some reading on Friday and Saturday, but I just didn't get around to filming anything. I've been reading All's Well by Mona Awad, and I'm a quarter of the way through this. I don't know how to describe it. I thought I saw it labelled as horror, but for the most part, we're so far just following this woman, Miranda, who was a theatre actress, had an accident. She now deals with chronic pain that doesn't seem to be treated by anything. And so far, we've just been following her train wreck of a life. Apart from one scene where she meets these men who seem to have a cure for her chronic pain, but I don't know where the hell that's going so far. I actually picked this up for two reasons. One, it's on my Goodreads challenge. I can't remember whether it's 2020 or 2021. And I've seen Kayla from Books and Lala talk about this a lot. And Bunny as well. So I thought I'd give it a go. So far, I'm not extremely impressed, but I'm not overly bored either. So I'm gonna keep reading this for a bit and see if I actually get invested in it or anything interesting happens. But I don't know. And then from there, I'll either just keep reading this today, or if I end up DNFing this, I will start 5 Survive, or no, 5 Survive. And then next week, it'll be finishing 5 Survive and People We Meet on Vacation. So that was just my quick update, and I will check in with you before the end of today, just to give you my final wrap up on the week. So I'll check back in later.